Hi, I'm Megan and I'm here today to talk to you about working with the viscose that you may have found in your Makers Club bag this month. So if you were lucky enough to get one of the September Lamazi Makers Club bags, you may have found some of this beautiful viscose in there. I was lucky enough to be sent some of this, and I have had the opportunity to make up this gorgeous skirt, which is the Tilly and the Buttons Luella, which is one of their newish patterns. It's a tiered maxi skirt, and it's really lovely, simple to make. So I thought I would just quickly run through my top tips for working with such a beautiful drapey fabric. So as you can see, it's a very fluid, very slippy fabric. This one has a little bit of weight to it, which makes it easier. But yeah, what I would recommend before you do anything is to give your fabric a pre-wash. I pop mine in the machine at 30 degrees on an 800 spin. That's generally what I do for most of my fabric when I buy it. It's not dirty as such. You just need to get rid of any of the chemicals from the processing and to make sure you get rid of any colour that might bleed in the wash. So after I'd washed it, I dried it flat on my drying area rack just to prevent any stretching out, and then gave it a hot steamy press to get rid of all the creases and have it nice and flat. So you might notice it's got quite a bold sort of repeat going through it, and they're in like a stripe linear form. So obviously making a tiered skirt, I wanted to make sure that that pattern repeat matched on the sides, which it just about has, if you can see there. I think if it hadn't, it may have looked a bit off. So when I was cutting out, I laid my fabric out flat rather than on the fold to make sure that when I joined them together, the lines would match up along the side. So I did that by laying my pattern and then just flipping it like that so I could see that it was all lined up nicely. What my preference is for cutting out slippery fabrics is to use my self-healing mat and pattern weights. So lay it flat, pattern on top and pattern weights, and then I use my rotary cutter. That just prevents any shifting and moving around. If you don't like using a rotary cutter, you can absolutely use your scissors and use lots of sharp pins. I like the glass head pins or the tulip pins, which are extra sharp and fine. But yeah, for me, rotary cutter every day for viscose. Once I'd cut it out, it was fairly easy to sew with. I do find on viscose fabrics they've got quite a dark print on one side and they're light on the back, which this one is. There is a slight risk of snagging. So if your needle isn't really sharp, you can get little runs, and I didn't want that to happen. So I use Microtex extra sharp needles, a fresh one in my machine, not one that I'd used previously, just to try and prevent that. I didn't use a walking foot or anything, but by all means you could use that to try and keep your fabric nice and smooth as it goes through the feed jogs. And I overlocked the edges, so I don't think you'll be able to see because I used a matching thread. I just used a cream overlock thread to finish off my edges. You absolutely could French seam viscose. That helps prevent with fraying and gives it a nice strong finish. I just thought it might be a little bit bulky in a skirt, so I just went with the overlocker, pressed them towards the back. So yeah, really that's it. It's really nice to work with. That little bit of extra weight makes it easier to work with because it's not quite as slippy as some other viscoses. And it's a dream to wear. I may have already been wearing this to work this week, and it's really comfy. This has got a nice elastic waist on it, so great if you've eaten too much. But again, the bold pattern kind of hides that, so you can't even tell it's got elastic in the waist. So yeah, they're my top tips. So a nice wash at 30 degrees, lay it out flat and use pattern weights if you can, sharp needles and a Microtex needle in your machine, and then away you go. I hope you love the fabric as much as I do, and I can't wait to see what you make with it.